Hi, welcome to Ghostly Stories and Strange Things. Please take a moment to hit the 5 stars, give us a nice review, and if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Storytime Fun, or if you can make a contribution to Buy Me Coffee Sneakies or PayPal Anonymous content. Let's start with this scary and spooky story of the dismembered ghost. Oh my gosh! The dismembered ghost. You guys ready to scream? Let's scream. Send me your screams. I'm gonna play them on the podcast, and send me your ghost stories. Email your ghost stories if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you'd like us to read your ghost story on the podcast. It's so much fun to hear from you guys and all the scary stories from childhood to whatever age you are, all around the United States and the world. There's so many scary and strange stories, so let's get going. Oh, the email is jobsimh@live.com. And attention, I have a ghost story for your podcast, and we'll get it on the air. Okay, so this ghost story, oh my gosh. So a group of guys where this was back in the 1917s, and a group of guys probably riding their horses were in the woods and saw a light and was looking for a place to lodge over the night, and there was nowhere for them to stay the night. Like, no hotels or motels were available. There was no Airbnb. And so the gentleman that owned the house said, well, there's a house in the back. And the catch is, if it's free or cheap, then beware, buyer beware. Just like those movies, they're saying it's haunted. And so they're like, oh, no big deal. I can stay any place the devil can stay. So, well, I don't know if I would, but you're more than welcome. He was with a group of guys, probably burly men with their big pistols or shotguns that you could carry back in the day. This was in Maryland. Okay. So they're like, sure, we'll stay in the little house in the back that's haunted. Ha ha ha. And most people don't believe it until you're frightened by something strange and weird. So they're like, sure. We'll play a nice game of cards, have some moonshine, and just maybe tell ghost stories and smoke a little, I don't know, cigars back then, cigarettes, what they have. So the men, put their stuff in there. There's 3 of them. They're having a nice game of poker, and they're sitting around a table, and they just finished playing their games of cards. And then it's apparently a 2-story house. They hear some steps coming down the stairs, and they're like, hello, there's a pair of legs. They could see a pair of legs with the feet clomp, 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 coming down probably the old rickety wooden stairs of this 1917 house, which was probably made, probably 50 years before 1917, right? So it's an old creaky house. So can you imagine seeing a pair of legs? They don't let us know if it's male legs, female legs, what kind of legs? Pair of ghostly legs with no body. Dismembered pair of legs, just the legs with the feet, are coming down the stairs. And one of the guys like, come on, let's get out of here. Let's go. Smart guy. If I saw a pair of legs with feet with no body and 2 or 3 other people also see it, let's go. Let's get out of here. Time to leave. Skid marks. We're out of there. Rain or shine. And then the other guy goes, let's just stay there and see what's at the end of it. Oh my God, they wanted to see if there's anything else. So they're playing another game of poker, probably like drinking a little moonshine. So maybe they're thinking they're seeing things. And then the body came down the stairs. Creak, 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 crack, 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 went the creaky stairs. And they see the middle of the body. Once again, they don't say if it's a male's body or female's body, if it has clothes or what it's wearing. And they're like, oh, let's just keep playing. You definitely know they're drinking something. And are they eating mushroom? Are they, what kind of snacks and alcohol are they drinking? They're like, yeah, don't worry. We saw 2 legs. Now we saw the middle of the body. And then they kept playing their poker. I wonder who's winning. Do they have a flush? Do they have 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 2 of a kind? So two arms come down. I don't know how they heard that, but like, oh, oh, maybe the arms wanted to play poker. And the other man says, the other guy's like, how much longer are you gonna stay here? And the other guy that's left says, don't be so scared. Nothing's gonna bother you. I mean, as he chugs back his cognac and smokes his cigar or peyote or whatever it is, he goes, I'm right here. If anything's gonna bother you, it's gonna bother me too. I mean, they must be having a good time playing poker. I bet you he's the winning. He's probably won all the money that night too. Like nothing's gonna disturb a winning hand, right? I know how you Vegas people that go to Vegas that pull those slot machines there and will sit there and just keep playing. Uh-huh. Or the roulette wheel. Yeah. Or those lottery scratchers. So then the head comes down. The head. They don't say if it's a man's head, a female's head, if it's a monster's head, or what it looks like, but the head comes down. We don't know if it has glowing eyes, if it says anything like, woo, you cheated. Oh, it's my house. Get out. You know what I mean? So they're like, well, okay, so the head does say something. So he goes, what are you doing playing cards in my house? He probably's like, what are you doing playing cards in my house? If he's from Texas, well, what are you doing playing cards in my house? If he's English, well, what are you doing playing cards in my house? If it's a woman, well, what are you doing playing cards in my house? I mean, come on. They get up from the table and left everything they had and ran like a bunch of banshees. Like, once the ghost starts talking to you, yeah, at least it's like get out or I'm gonna kill you or throw things at you. But it's like, what are you doing playing cards in my house? That's not too bad. But yeah, they finally ran out of the house and ran to the main house to the man that told them about it. He says, well, what's the matter, fellas? And the men say, we can't stay in that place. It's haunted. Are you crazy? There's a body, a dismembered body, and it actually talked and said something. We all saw it. And the main guy that told them they could stay in the haunted house says, well, I thought you could live anywhere the devil was. And they said, well, I know I said that, but I can't live there and we're not staying there and we're out of here. And can we stay in your house or we're out of here? So that's the story of the dismembered ghost. Um, it's from a Maryland ghost story, The Dismembered Ghost from 1917. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned for other great, fantastic episodes. If you have a story that you'd like to be featured on our podcast, please email us at jobsmh@live.com, subject heading ghost story for your podcast. And please hit the 5 stars, subscribe, and download the podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will support our channel. Just simply subscribe, help us out, support us. And it's Storytime Funds. We have so many amazing stories for kids. And if you can buy us coffee, buy me coffee Sneakies, or PayPal me anonymous content. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.